Shedeur Sanders is sidelined. Joe Flacco is warming up. And Dillon Gabriel is somehow still getting first-team reps. Despite back-to-back practices filled with missed throws, panic decisions, and a growing chorus of confusion from fans and analysts alike, this is not a quarterback competition. It's a power play. Day 9 of Browns training camp was supposed to be a momentum builder. Sanders had been lighting it up, showing poise beyond his years, running with the second-team offense and carving up Cleveland's starting defense like it was college all over again. Then suddenly he's absent. No throws, no reps, just standing on the sidelines, reportedly dealing with arm soreness. The reaction? Not concern, not alarm, just frustration. Because while Sanders sits out, precautionary or not, Dillon Gabriel is flaming out in real time. And no matter how many passes he sails or how many open reads he misses, he's still being treated like the franchise favorite. If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed. Let's be real, Gabriel is struggling. On day 8, he threw an interception during a simple red zone rep after hesitating and forcing a late ball into coverage. On day 9, he followed it up by freezing under pressure, missing a rollout opportunity, and getting swallowed by the defense. And yet, he remains the first face under center in every drill. And then there's Joe Flacco, steady, predictable, aging. He's taking his share of snaps, yes, but no one thinks he's the future. He's a placeholder, a mentor, a talking point. But when his podcast comments dropped, everything changed. Flacco didn't just share insight, he pulled back the curtain. He confirmed what many suspected. Reps aren't being earned. They're being handed out based on politics and pecking order. According to Flacco, quarterbacks like Shedeur simply aren't getting a fair shake. They're buried in the rep chart before the battle even begins. And when the most poised NFL-ready rookie on the roster is being iced out while a flailing prospect is being propped up, it doesn't just raise questions. It exposes the whole operation. What's happening in Cleveland isn't just mismanagement, it's organizational denial. The coaching staff keeps insisting this is an open competition. But open competitions don't have pre-picked winners. Open competitions don't bench the guy completing 70% of his passes for the one completing 30. And open competitions don't treat a breakout rookie like an inconvenience just because he's messing up the plan. Because make no mistake, Shedeur Sanders is a plan, they just weren't ready for it. He was supposed to be a developmental pick, a 5th-round flyer, someone who'd sit behind Gabriel and Flacco and maybe get a look in 2 years. But he walked into camp, took the playbook like a vet, and started throwing dots against Cleveland's top-tier defense. And just like that, the narrative cracked. Sanders isn't just outperforming expectations. He's outperforming the depth chart. And the Browns clearly don't know what to do with that. So instead of adjusting to reality, they're doubling down on denial. Gabriel continues to get the spotlight, despite collapsing under it. The coaching staff keeps talking about patience and growth, while ignoring the quarterback already showing it. And fans, they're over it. The Browns have had more quarterback projects than playoff wins in the last 20 years. This city knows what false hope looks like, and this isn't it. Shedeur Sanders isn't hype. He's showing actual production, command, leadership. He's already earned the trust of key players like Myles Garrett and Jerry Jeudy. And yet, he's stuck on the sidelines watching someone else flounder through his reps. Even analysts who are usually cautious are starting to call it out. Nick Wright slammed Gabriel's size and performance, calling him unfit for a starting role. Chris Broussard openly questioned why Shedeur isn't getting more opportunities, arguing that Cleveland might be passing on their next franchise guy just to save face. And through all of this, Shedeur hasn't lashed out once. No tantrums, no ego, just focus. That's what separates him. While the staff tries to mold Gabriel into something he's not, Sanders is standing there, already NFL ready, and proving it every time he's let on the field. But letting him on the field has become the problem. He's missing reps, missing rhythm. And not because he's underperforming, because he's overperforming and it doesn't fit the script. That's the harshest part of all this. Sanders is being held back for being too good, too soon. So what now? Well, if the Browns have any sense of long-term vision, or even just short-term survival, they'll need to break out of this paralysis. Because every day Sanders sits while Gabriel stalls, they lose credibility with fans, analysts, and more importantly, the locker room. The players know. They see it every day. The guy who leads a huddle. The guy who throws the tightest ball. The guy who doesn't blink under pressure. That's who they want behind center. And it's not Gabriel. If the Browns really care about winning, not PR wins, not draft pride, they'll stop playing politics and start playing football. They'll put the best player under center. And right now, that's Shedeur Sanders. Even with a sore arm, even with a rookie label, even with the weight of a famous last name, he's already shown more command and capability than his competitors. Cleveland has a choice. Let the politics bury another young talent. Or finally break the cycle and let performance speak louder than pedigree. And if they choose wrong, don't be surprised when Sanders succeeds somewhere else. Because he will. The most damning part of this whole ordeal isn't just what the Browns are doing. It's what they aren't doing. They're not adjusting. They're not reevaluating. They're not reacting to reality. They're clinging to a decision made in a draft room months ago, and they're willing to ride that decision into the ground, even if it takes their credibility and Shedeur Sanders with it. Let's talk about the locker room. Inside those walls, the divide is growing. Coaches might still be pushing the fair competition line in press conferences, but the players, they've seen the throws. They felt the energy shift when Shedeur walks into the huddle. They know what it means when one quarterback commands silence, and the other gets side-eye after an incomplete pass. Sanders doesn't just talk like a leader. He moves like one. Quick decisions, calculated risk, vocal direction. He's got the presence that quarterbacks either have or don't. You can't manufacture it. And you definitely can't coach it into a guy who's throwing hospital balls in red zone drills and then walking off the field like it's no big deal. Every time Gabriel short hops a check down or panics in a collapsing pocket, you can feel it. A slight pause, a glance from a receiver, a defender trying not to shake his head. It's subtle, but it's there. Meanwhile, when Shedeur's behind center, there's focus. Guys run sharper routes. The cadence is cleaner. Even when he doesn't throw, the rhythm is different. It's like the team subconsciously elevates because they believe in him. And that matters more than the box score. A quarterback can't just be a playmaker. He has to be a thermostat. He sets the emotional temperature for the whole team. And right now, Shedeur's heat is undeniable. The Browns, they're doing everything they can to ignore it. Let's not forget, this is the same franchise that mishandled Baker Mayfield's development, burned through Johnny Manziel, fumbled a Deshaun Watson PR nightmare, and now somehow thinks the answer lies in doubling down on Dillon Gabriel, a third-round pick who's looked more like a clipboard holder than a starter. And that's not to disrespect Gabriel's effort. He's not lazy. He's not entitled. But he's simply not rising to the moment. This isn't about how much he wants it. It's about whether he's ready for it. And right now, he's not. Not when you're a defensive lineman blowing up plays and Gabriel hesitating like he's in a 7-on-7 walkthrough instead of a live-fire drill. Sanders, on the other hand, when the lights have come on, when he's been given even a shred of opportunity, he's delivered clean mechanics, quick release, controlled footwork, and above all, confidence that never crosses into arrogance. You'd think that would be enough to warrant a shift in the rotation. A few more reps, maybe even a full day with the starters. But instead, what do the Browns do? They keep burying him. Buried behind a guy who's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns in camp. Buried behind a 38-year-old placeholder who's basically giving TED Talks in the locker room instead of chasing a roster spot. Buried behind an institutional ego that would rather be right than win. That's where the fans come in. Social media has turned into a war zone. Some are calling for Stefanski's job. Others are already prepping mock trades, sending Shedeur to quarterback-needy teams. A few have even started circulating side-by-side camp stats, comparing Shedeur and Gabriel. Spoiler, it's not close, but stats alone